talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal.
I'm discussing the club of guards that we as a whole got to manage. Ice Block uncovers how he evaded being a malicious Hollywood watchman. The universe of Hollywood has forever been a hotbed of show contention and different occurrences that catch public consideration, from shameful VIP conduct to in front of an audience, quarrels during grant functions. The business exhibits different feature enveloping the general mishmash anyway. Frequently, the pessimistic side earns more consideration amidst this. C3D Square has volunteered to reveal insight into a portion of the less glitzy parts of media outlets. You became able to battle for your privileges and battle for what you trust in, assuming you're an individual who puts stock in the right to speak freely of discourse. You need to battle and get out whatever you feel and let chips fall where they might. Ice Shape, the unbelievable rapper and entertainer, has been causing disturbances in Hollywood with his striking disclosures about the inward opera Shans of media outlets. In a new sensation, he shed light on the presence of a strong gathering known as the Hollywood Guardians and their supposed endeavors to quiet and kill capable people like Jamie Foxx. Ice 3D Shape, known for his frank nature, talked genuinely about the difficulties looked by craftsmen inside the business. He alluded to the Hollywood Guardians as a club that everybody should fight with, a gathering that holds extensive influence over who succeeds and who is abandoned. The planning of Ice Block's disclosure harmonized with Jamie Foxx's profoundly expected public appearance, very nearly 3 months after a puzzling ailment landed him in the emergency clinic. Ice 3D Square's case about the Hollywood Guards endeavoring to wipe out Jamie Foxx's started a blazing discussion inside the business and among fans, with Ice 3D Shape's validity and Jamie Foxx's standing on the line. Reality behind these charges is not yet clear. Go along with us as we dig further into Ice Block's disclosures and investigate the strange universe of the Hollywood Watchmen. Prepare for an exciting ride of insider facts control and the journey for creative liberty in an industry where influence and control rules. Stay tuned for additional stunning subtleties and enlightening experiences. This is a story you won't have any desire to miss. Uncovering Hollywood Guardians. Ice Shape, as of late, set out determined to uncover the secret plots of the business, revealing insight into the guards who apply huge impact over specialist professions. In his real video, shared on Twitter, Ice Solid Shape communicated disappointment with the NBA traditional press. The NBA with us now? Many individuals could say, like, "Yeah, kid, we need to work with the NBA and media outlets." He declared that the Watchmen had endeavored to subvert his prosperity because of his refusal to adjust to their club. The specific status of this club and its expectations were left unknown, yet many fans reverberated with Ice 3D Square state Eamon, professing to comprehend the obscure references. Besides, Ice 3D Square imparted his own encounters to the NBA and traditional press supposed endeavors to undermine his 3-on-3 ball association, the large three. He voiced his indifference with regards to working with the NBA, underlining the requirement for joint effort as opposed to check, proposing to uncover every one of the Watchmen. Ice Shape declared his arrangement to set out on a web recording visit, meaning to convey his message straightforwardly to individuals communicating dissatisfaction about these strong guards inside the business. Ice 3D Square shared his contemplations on their impact. Alluding to them as a club, he explained that he and numerous others are not piece of this restrictive circle. While Ice Solid Shape didn't name explicit people visuals, he recommended that those inside the business know precisely whom he alludes to. This thought of Watchmen controlling access and valuable open doors inside the business has drawn consideration and started banter. Ice Shape additionally voiced his perspective that these guards profess to assist with blacking individuals, yet their activities might recommend. In any case, he underscored the independence of the African American population, expressing that they can make progress without depending on the help of these watchmen. Ice Block immovably attested that their impact is superfluous and that they can graft their own way to progress against compulsion and control. Consistent with his promise, Ice Solid Shape has been effectively showing up on different webcasts divulging the supposed secret plan encompassing the sought-after immunization. During a new meeting on Logan Paul's webcast, Ice Block explained that he isn't hostile to immunization, having gotten inoculations all through his life. Who kicked rock off through the stupendous robbery auto, great burglary auto anyway. He communicated distress with the compulsion and extort he accepts occurred on account of he coronavirus shot. He mourned the results looked by people who declined the immunization, for example, losing their positions or encountering familial division. Curiously, this isn't whenever ICE First Block has stood up against the coronavirus antibody in November 2022. He stood out as truly newsworthy by turning down a worthwhile $9 million film job because of his refusal to get the shot. This choice caused swells in Hollywood and brought up issues about his remaining inside the business proceeding. With his campaign against the Watchmen ICE 3D shape as of late joined Joe Rogan on his famous digital broadcast. During the discussion he uncovered that he had been constrained to take the immunization for a film job, with makers conveying that his support relied on his consistent ICE shape. Stood firm in his position, declining to yield to the tension as ICE 3D shape's enemies of Guardians visit picks up speed. He is turning into a conspicuous figure in the continuous exchange encompassing the immunization and the supposed control applied by influential people in media outlets. ICE Block desires to motivate mindfulness and decisive reasoning among his crowd by revealing insight into these points. The adventure encompassing ICE solid shape, the Hollywood Watchmen, and Jamie Foxx's supposed unexpected problems is a long way from being done. People in general enthusiastically anticipates further bits of knowledge and disclosures as ICE 3D shape proceeds with his webcast visit value. Only rocking the boat and empowering a nearer assessment of the powers that shape media outlets anyway. What adds a win to the story is ICE Shape's case that he kept the subtleties of why he deserted the job and what really befell him. He stressed the significance of not uncovering an individual's clinical status, especially with regards to immunization. ICE solid shape made sense of that. The Hollywood Watchmen endeavored to depict him as uninformed for turning down a rewarding $9 million job. Besides, they kept on applying strain in him through his group during his discussion with Joe Rogan. The theme moved to the chance of legitimate activity in regards to the sought-after antibody. Rogan proposed that since individuals can sue immunization producers, they could turn to suing organizations and managers who forced them into having the chance, since all that was coming out was squeezing. You realize this conversation has started hypothesis among fans that Jamie Foxx might have had comparable expectations. It has been claimed that James was forced by the studio to get the immunization while shooting back in real life with Cameron Diaz. Jay Benza, a writer, guaranteed that James experienced a blood coagulation in his cerebrum subsequent to making the effort in spite of his underlying obstruction. While it stays hazy whether James had plans to make a lawful move against the studio for driving him to get immunization, it is captivating to take note of that few outlets detail the complete implosion on the arrangement of back in real life in practically no time before his hospitalization, as ICE 3D Square called attention to reality behind what really happened, might in all likelihood never become known in light of the fact that the Watchmen guarantee that no one stands up. The business is covered in mystery, and those inside its grasp are constrained to stay quiet. This quiet has driven fans to hypothesize that these Watchmen might have endeavored to, for all time, quiet James to keep him from uncovering their compulsion strategy. As one fan proposed, once you're in, and no one gets out alive. I3D Square is complimented for confronting them, showing exceptional strength of character. One more fan communicated an opinion shared by many, expressing that in the event that they were in Jamie Foxx's position, they would focus on their prosperity over their vocation. Cash and achievement hold little worth on the off chance that they undermine one's ethics, values, or well-being. A few fans have even drawn matches between Jamie's circumstance and the baffling video of him on the boat. They find it particular that he shows up all around okay to partake in a relaxed voyage, yet he hasn't recorded a straightforward video consoling his devotees of his prosperity. Questions emerge about why he hasn't done a short live connection or given a meeting to dissipate any uncertainty. Distrust waits until substantial proof is introduced. For example, Jamie strolling, talking, and transparently addressing his condition in his central goal to uncover the exercises of the Guardians. ICE 3D Square has promised not to stay quiet any with us, and that is cool. We can do it without anyone else's help. You understand what I'm talking about. We're still on the ascent without these, so he intends to set out on a web recording binge utilizing this stage to reveal insight into the internal functions of the business and challenge the impact of these strong figures. His definitive objective is stating his own power and making a conviction that all is good, guaranteeing that he isn't dependent upon any potential pessimistic impact these watchmen might have with this striking move. Ice 3D Square expects to disturb the laid out request and prepare for a more fair and autonomous industry, and the hypothesis encompassing Jamie Foxx and the worries raised by fans feature the continuous secret and interest encompassing the Hollywood Guardians and their supposed activity. As the story unfurls, it is not yet clear whether reality will become visible and whether Jamie Foxx will end his quiet,